About 3 months ago, I got this postcard in the mail. It's informing me that there is a sex offender living in my neighborhood. And actually, based upon the address, he's living very close to me. And to start out with, as soon as I got this card, I was troubled. And was I glad I got the card? Was I upset I got the card? Was it a good idea to get the card? And I've been trying to come up with answers for the last 3 months how I should feel about that I got this in the mail. What's on this card? Well, I got a picture of the offender. I'm sorry, I have to look down, breaking the rule of doing things on camera. Look at the camera. I have his name, his age, his gender, race, height, weight, hair color, eye color, if I didn't say it before, address, and also, doesn't have any tattoos, but it says on here what he was convicted of. So, what did he do? He violated Section 288C1 of the California Code, which is lewd and lascivious acts with a child 14 or 15 years old. What does that mean? I know it's a sex offense, but I can think of a lot of lewd and lascivious things people can do. So I Googled it, and here's the official statement on what Section 288C1 is. If the child victim is 14 or 15 and you're at least 10 years older, the crime is a wobbler offense, meaning that it can be charged as a misdemeanor or felony depending on the facts of your case. In that situation, a felony conviction can result into up to 3 years in state prison and a fine up to $10,000, while a misdemeanor can produce a 1-year stint in the county jail and a fine up to $1,000. And in either case, if you're convicted of the misdemeanor or a felony, you have to register as a sex offender. Now, what is a lewd or lascivious act according to this statute? Well, I looked that up. You touched a child's body or got a child to touch the child's body, your body, or someone else, and the touching occurred on bare skin or through clothing, and the touching was for sexual reasons. A little clearer, but there's a range of things I could think of that would fall under that. So as I said, I've been thinking about this for 3 months, and I decided to start thinking about doing a video on it. So I picked up this card, and when it first came, I assumed, well, this was the sheriff's department. This was the Tucson Police Department. There are some procedures in place when a registered sex offender moves into a neighborhood. He has to report it to the police, and then the police report it to the neighborhood. But then when I was looking at it more closely, I found out that, nope, this is not from the police or the sheriff. This is from Offender Watch Initiative. And what is Offender Watch Initiative? It's a 301c3 nonprofit organization dedicating to increasing public awareness of registered sex offenders through education, community notification, and better relations between the public and law enforcement. And I'm just reading that right off their webpage. So it's a private organization. It's based out of Louisiana, who has taken it upon itself to raise money to send out these notifications, as well as other activities they engage in, which I'm not going to bother going over them. What about this specific case? Now, I'm not going to say the guy's name or anything like this. Well, it happened 26 years ago. The person convicted was 36. He's now 62. I'm not going to be very coherent on this. These are just the things that went through my mind. Now, I have 4 daughters. And if there was a sex offender in my neighborhood while my children, my daughters were still living at home, maybe I'd want to know about this. And then I also think about what else is on this card. Well, it says risk slash class, level one. So I look up what level one risk is. Very small chance of reoffending. This is a private organization mailing out these cards. How much does this organization look into what the actual details of the offense were? Or are they just building a database and sending out these cards? I'm sorry, I'm a little cynical and I wonder what motivations are behind the actions of people. Kind of me, because I'm an economist, I don't know. And let's face it, the person did their time. And I think about, okay, here's me. I'm going to sit down. I got the time. Now, I did not look up the details of this particular case, what the person actually did or anything. All I did was look up and see what was it called? 288C1 crime. So I didn't look to see if it was a misdemeanor or a felony or anything like that. I wondered about my fellow neighbors. How are they going to react? What if that sex offender is married and has children? Well, if the neighbors find out, at least some of the neighbors' kids are going to find out. And are those kids then, when they get to school, going to bully and spread the word like your dad's a sex offender? And I'm quite sure some of you are going to say to me, now, come on, he did the crime, bears the responsibility for his actions. So if his kids get bullied at school, his wife has comments shouted at her when she goes out of the house, that's all on him. And I think about, if I have a murderer move in next door to me, a convicted drug dealer, someone convicted of aggregate assault, and maybe they're repeat offenders, I don't get a notice about that. In my situation with just Melody and I, this person, sex offense against a minor. My wife's 66, I'm 68. We both own handguns and things like that. I'd be much more concerned about a murderer, drug dealer, etc., moving next door to me, but I don't get notifications for that. But I get a notification for a sex offender. And I'm not going to sit here and start ranking crimes, but equal treatment under the law? And it just, why are we sending out notifications for one crime and not for other crimes that are just as heinous? You can't tell me murdering someone is not that bad that we don't need to notify people. And as I say, considering it's a class one, risk one offender, and usually I can make good arguments to support my positions on any topic. But as I said at the beginning, from the day I got this notification, I haven't been able to make up my mind. But I will say this, in my gut, I thought there was something wrong with this. And I hate having discussions, doing these videos, and say, I'm going with my gut feeling. No, I always have logical reasons for whatever position I take. And as I said, I think about what was the motivation behind the company sending out these notifications. What will my neighbors do? Will they actually look up what they did? I'm probably starting to be redundant here. I just feel getting that notification was wrong. I don't know why. I can't justify it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I just wanted to throw out my thoughts. And one thing I've noticed with my channel, today it's officially 2 weeks old. But anytime I've done a video and I've asked people, please comment. I'm really looking for input. So anything you could come up with, How would you feel in this situation? Assume this guy was convicted of a misdemeanor. Do you think after 25, 26 years, never another incident, should that person have to notify the police? And then this organization sends out these cards. Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? What are your gut feelings? So I'd really like to hear that. And maybe it can help me better understand either why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling or change my mind on the way I'm feeling. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. And as usual in these videos, hit the little subscribe button down below, give it a thumbs up. As I said, I'm looking forward and I would appreciate hearing your thoughts on this subject and wishing you a blessed day.